Hi there, my name is John Holden. I graduated from the University of Connecticut in 1992 with a bachelor's degree in ornamental horticulture. In 1993, I started Land Designs Unlimited. I design, install, and maintain landscapes for homeowners in Upper Fairfield County, Connecticut. Today, I'd like to share my passion with you. How you doing today, folks? I'm out doing some work in the garden, and I want to show you how to prune a plant called Lenten Rose. Now, if you're not familiar with Lenten Rose is one of the first perennials to bloom in the season. And the reason for the name Lenten Rose is because it blooms around Lent. And I don't know if you can see or not, I'll move the camera in a second, but there's actually flowers just coming in and starting to open on my Lenten Rose. And this is going to grow to be about 18 inches tall. It's going to have pinkish flowers about this big. And you know, there's many different cultivars of Lenten Rose, but it's really a great plant, and it's one of my stalwarts for design work because it's very early to bloom, and the blooms will actually last for a good two to 3 months. Even though they've technically dried, they still look really beautiful. But one thing I've noticed when maintaining, my Lenten Rose is they usually look kind of matted down and nasty in the spring. And to really bring out the best, what you want to do if you've got Lenten Rose is get out there and clean up all of last year's foliage, before the flowers come. So I just want to, take a few minutes here to show you the difference between what our Lenten Rose looks like now, and then we're going to go ahead and just, clean up some of this foliage a bit. So this is something you don't really want to do too quickly because there certainly are flowers and we don't want to cut the flower stalks, but you're almost on a treasure hunt here, and you're just going to work your way around your Lenten Rose and cut off all last year's flower stalks and see if you can expose these beautiful flowers. And I don't really know if it's recommended to cut the foliage off in the fall on these or not. I mean, the foliage certainly does do a nice job of protecting the plant through the winter. So maybe I'll look that up and see what I can find out, and I'll put it in the video around this part. But the Lenten Rose leaves, they're a very thick leaf. It's a pretty tough foliage, and I know when they go into winter, they usually go into winter standing up, and then the snow and the heavy frost kind of knocks them down. And I don't know if you can see, there's actually some seedlings coming up over here too, which, the protection of this foliage, I usually do notice some seedlings underneath the foliage once it starts growing as well. I also see evidence of some moles or mice under there too. But we're just going to keep working our way around very carefully and expose these beautiful flowers. And this is really the only maintenance required for Lenten Rose as well. Once they bloom, I usually end up just leaving the blooms all season. Late summer, I might deadhead. But it's really a tough plant, and it grows so easily. And you see how we're just peeling back last year's foliage, and look at all these blooms. Now this plant has been in the ground probably 8 to 10 years if I had to guess. Lenten Rose is definitely not a fast grower, but it is just so easy to grow. and so beautiful and has such a long flowering season. So we'll just clean some of these leaves out. And I really think these seedlings could be Lenten Rose. The leaves look very similar. Okay, so we give this, I mean, I promise you in like 3 or 4 days, these flowers will be up to about 4 or 5 inches tall. They'll be, you know, starting to open, and it'll be absolutely beautiful. And I'm just going to take you to the backyard and show you one that I actually did do 5 days ago to show you how nice they look. And it's great if you can get out and do this. You know, this year has been such a weird year. We had an extremely late, cold, snow-covered fall and snow-covered winter that I literally couldn't get out and do this until about 2 weeks ago. But this is something great to do like in late winter when you're just getting sick of being in the house and you want to do some pruning around the yard. You know, get out and do little things like this to start your garden on its way. So this is a Lenten Rose that I pruned back about 5 days, maybe a week at the most, and it was just covered with both foliage and leaves, and look how pretty that looks. Now, one thing about Lenten Rose is the flowers do weep, so you have to kind of take a look at them to see their true beauty. But we had a frost last night. The temperature was like 25 degrees, and there was frost on the ground, and we've got Lenten Rose in full bloom in our garden. And I think this is just really a wonderful plant and definitely an underused plant in my opinion. So thanks a lot for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this video about my Lenten Rose, I made a video last year which is called March Motivation, and it's a video of me showing you some plants around my yard that are in bloom in early spring. I actually show you the Lenten Rose we just pruned back. I'm going to put a link to that video somewhere on the screen here. If you want to see some more early blooming plants, have a look at that. If you enjoyed the video, folks, please click the like button, and if you want to see some more great videos about gardening, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, folks, and have yourself a wonderful day.